like this, so I am grateful for it when it happens.
I hear you. Well, things are kind of slowing down for me, so hopefully I can help a bit more too. So,
Oh, absolutely. Exactly. That'd
cla-
be amazing.
classes. I'm teaching my last class tomorrow. So,
Oh, yay.
yeah,
Happy graduation.
I know. It's so crazy.
All right. Oh, my video's not on. No wonder. There, wait, there
Oh,
we
yeah.
go.
I just
I
assumed you
know.
were tested, so you were like, forget the
I'm gonna
video.
go like, no, no, no. I'm here. I'm gonna shut the door. I thought I shut this, but I guess it opened again. Oh, wait, it looks a little bit better. Anyway, hello
Oh, you're good.
everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the I Love AI call. I always like to kick us off so that if you watch this recording or see it on YouTube, or if you happen to be in LinkedIn Live right now, you're like, what is this? What are we doing here? So it is right now, me and Don hanging out.
And some
Um,
bots,
uh,
right? I think.
yes, yes, absolutely. So yes, this call is typically a Q and A call, gives you a chance. If you are here live with us on the Zoom, you are welcome to be. Otherwise, I will also try and keep an eye on our chat in LinkedIn, but it's hard to do that. So if you don't see a response from me right away, it's not because I don't see you. It's only because I maybe don't see you right then. But I'll reply to those comments afterwards. I am going to try and pull it up right now, and make sure I'm going to turn down my volume in case I am live. Let's see. Oh, there we are. You're going to love it. The thumbnail they captured, Don, was just you.
Wait.
Okay. So good to see you, everybody. All right, welcome in, welcome in. I'm just giving myself a thumbs up and a heart or two. So when you join us, oh look, there are a few. Yay, good to see you all. So if you're here and you're watching, it's always nice to know if you're here live. So you just type in hashtag live and we'll know you're here. Otherwise, if you ever want to join us, you can. You can join us right here in the Zoom. You'll get a chance to break out and meet with people. It's an awesome networking opportunity. And you can do that by just going to noelle.ai, my first name.ai, and you can be a member of one of this amazing free community. I try to teach stuff all the time. I'm going to do a little teaching today on a topic I talked about and give a little where in the world has Noelle been? It's better because I just did it and figured out where I was the last 5 days. So I'm going to share that with you all. Um, I'm going to put that URL in the chat on LinkedIn for those of you who want to join us. But I do always like to say we just passed 1,500 members of the community, which is phenomenal and amazing. Um, however, uh, it is not like anyone who, if you just send us a message, you don't just join right away. We review every single person who joins. We try to make sure we don't get a bunch of salespeople that are trying to sell the latest AI tchotchke. We are looking for people who want to grow their expertise and understanding and leadership in a time of AI. So really excited to be here. I think I saw Eve. What's up, Eve? Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
What?
Don't feel obligated to get on camera if you don't want to, but good to see you. But yeah,
That
so
was a
I'll give
call.
you yeah, she's like out. What's up, Joe? Thanks for showing your face. I appreciate you. We see you. We see you. So one of the things that I would like to do is just give you a little bit of a roundup of where I've been. I think the coolest thing that I could probably tell you, I, I think I could tell you all now, it's not available yet. I actually, Don, I was trying to get you to come with me, but it ended up being a closed set, as they say. But last Monday, I got an opportunity to do my first TED Talk ever. You would think I would have done one by now, but anyway, it never really worked out. The timing didn't work out for a couple others, but finally, TEDx Boston called me and was like, "We would love for you to fly in, do a TED Talk," and it was pretty cool. I number one, I enjoyed it immensely, but number two, you only get like 10 minutes, so I kind of created my entire talk. And then I did quote my favorite musical, if you know, you know, but I did quote Hamilton at the end of my TED Talk. So I was like, the angels sang, it was
Which quote?
beautiful.
Which quote?
Hmm?
Great question, Eve. So I basically from George Washington, I quoted history has its eyes on you, but the whole thing. So it's like I I know that we can win. Uh, I see that greatness lies in you, but remember from here on in, history has its eyes on you. And it was all this, it was like this culminating moment of the world actually needs every one of us to participate, not just learn AI, but learn how to lead AI systems. And history's watching. And I think I even said something to the effect of earlier in the talk that we're the first generation that gets to teach machines how to talk. We also have the responsibility of teaching them how to listen. So it's really good. It was all this good stuff. So I really liked it. Uh-oh. Um, anyway, so yeah, so is that part. I don't know if you remember it, but it was awesome. It's my favorite. I will Hamilton turned 10 this year. For those
Hmm.
of you who don't know, so big fanfare. My husband and I will be going back. My husband's birthday is in August, and August 6th is Hamilton's 10th birthday. Like it literally went on Broadway August 6th. So trying to work some magic. If any of y'all know Lin-Manuel, please put in a good word. I'm definitely doing my best to get out there. We'll see it sometime that week, but the sixth performance is locked down for special people only. So I'm trying to become more special every day. Um, all right. So what I wanted to do is just give you a sense. So that was Monday, the 9th. I was in Boston, and then from there, it's all fuzzy after that.
And the
I'm
same
going
day you were
there.
in New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. So I went from the 9th, I went from there to New Mexico to talk to my friends at Sandia, which was awesome. So we were I flew into Albuquerque. We went to Sandia, which was amazing. The thing I love about speaking to audiences like Sandia is that they are an engineering organization, probably one of the most advanced, most like have highest level of operational excellence for the work that they do because they support the government in very, very high stakes use cases. Many people at Sandia will say we get called when no one else either can do the work, wants to do the work, or knows how to do the work. Like this lab is the one they call for all these really high stakes federal use cases. And so it was cool because I could lean into my engineering side of my skill set as opposed to staying broad, which is what most of the time I need to do in my keynotes because you never know who's in the audience. I got to talk about all the crazy stories that happened at Amazon Alexa and Microsoft, and when all what I call AI gone wrong. Like you think it's going really well, and then all of a sudden everything slides sideways, and you're like, "Oh, what just happened?" So it was really cool. They appreciated all of my humor and the reality of what it takes to really build scalable systems, specifically those that integrate artificial intelligence. So yeah, so that was super fun. And then from there, I ended up going to Avixa, which was at Infocom. So this is on Thursday. So on Thursday, I was in Infocom. So this is now my third city, right, in a 5-day period. So Monday, I'm in Boston. Tuesday, I was at New Mexico. Thursday, I'm at Avixa doing the women's breakfast at Infocom. Infocom is one of the largest AV professional like conferences. And there were about 400 women that came to breakfast. And again, similarly to my just pure enjoyment of talking to engineers from an engineering lens, a lens I don't often get to talk through just due to the nature of my work, because I talk to a lot of executives and leaders. But the women's event, I got to really lean into my experience as a woman and a person of color and what just the challenges that that experience brings. And it was so nice because the room, I mean, being a woman in AV is pretty similar to being a woman in technology or a woman in AI. Like you are often the only one on the AV team that is female. I mean, I used to be on AV. I don't know how many of you know this, but I was a DJ in college, ran my own radio station. I was a midnighter, as my dad is. He called it the graveyard shift. My dad was a graveyard shifter. My grandmother was a graveyard shift nurse, a burn nurse. And it turned out when I first got to college, I was doing shift radio. But it's cool because I got to play whatever I wanted. No one called in with requests. So I loved it. But that being said, I've always had a heart for AV. Um, always been interested in that work, and so it was really cool to talk to them. And it was neat because they got to say, they said to me, like, in the comments after the session, they were just like, it was so nice to be like, for you to say things like, one woman was like, you said things that I've been thinking for years and I've just never known how to articulate them, and you said it. And many women got emotional, like, just hearing, like, being seen and heard, and like knowing you're not alone. It can be just a very emotional. So it was really cool. And of course, I got them to be a little less scared of the world of AI and hopefully find their place in it. Um, but yeah, really cool, Joe. The TED Talk was just phenomenal. I was so excited to do it. And then on Friday, this was just last week. So on Friday, so I went from Boston to New Mexico to Avixa was in Orlando. Then we took a train from Miami to Orlando. My son got to go with me. That was super fun. And then we went to New York, where I took my son to New York. So that was also amazing. And I spoke at the Agentic conference. And some of you, hopefully, I know. If not, good to see you all. Welcome. But in at the Agentic event, I did the keynote in the morning. I am here in Chicago to do another version of that. So tomorrow I will be. If you're in Chicago, come say hello. Come see me at the Agentic. You can go and Google it. Agentic Chicago. MoDev is the organization putting it on, in combination with TELUS Digital and Fuel IX. So look it up. Come join us if you're here in the Chicago area. But I will be doing the same thing I did on Friday, which is a keynote in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I have a workshop. And some of you know this workshop that I've done, but it was cool because I had to do it in a slightly different, a slightly new way. One, the workshop is called the AI Business Accelerator. And a few months ago, I got a chance to deliver a AI Business Accelerator keynote to HBCU graduates that were looking for a way to become like an entry point into the entrepreneurship world. And so I wanted to give them a sense that many of you probably know already, is that there is a very real opportunity right now that a single person company, meaning a company that hires no employees, is going to become the first billion-dollar company, what they call a single person unicorn. And that is within our reach, not because one person is getting better, but because AI is helping us to complement the work of every individual. And as a single entrepreneur, you can now build agentic workforce that can help you do your job. Now, it's not easy, it's extremely difficult as someone who's working on this every day, but it is possible, and it's never been more possible. And so that was my talk track for the HBCUs, is that I was like, hey, there is a method to this, and that method was grounded in first having a good idea. And once you have that idea, identifying a target for how you're going to measure the success of that idea, like that problem that you're going to solve, of you solving that problem well. Once you have a problem you can solve, a metric for measuring that you're solving it well, you now like can really start going to market, right? So you can go to market and tell the market, hey, I have this solution to this problem. I'm going to tell you when it's solved by measuring this metric. Can I help you with this? And the reality is that it's really important to actually go after, like, use artificial intelligence as your co-pilot to help you build content that generates attention for the fact that you can solve this problem long before you actually go and build a model, create custom models, generate assets, build deliverables. Do not waste any time on that. Get customers first. Gold tip, because so many times we invest time, money, energy, sweat, and tears into building something, and we're not really sure if it's even going to work, if it's going to sell, if people even want it, if it even solves the problem we think it's going to solve. So it's really important to start getting attention for your idea first. So that was the first like 15-20 minutes of the talk, of the workshop, was how do you set your business up for success with this kind of cycle of identify a problem, measure it with a metric, get attention, use that attention to generate leads, use those leads to generate sales, use those sales to generate revenue. And once you have that revenue, you're going to have some kind of, I mentioned this briefly in the workshop. I'm like, by the way, when you start making money, please create a plan for using that money to generate, to create generational wealth. In other words, my husband and I last year, we invested in a few apartment buildings, right? We have 800 and some odd units. So that is where we parked our money and it provides us residual income. And that is a very important part of financial freedom is investing in assets that pay you instead of you paying for them. And so that is the end of the process, right? Is that once this cycle starts working, it becomes a flywheel where you solve problems, you measure success, you get attention, you get leads, you get sales, you make money, you put that money in an asset that pays you, and the flywheel continues. And so that was how I spent the first part of the session. The second part of the session on Friday was a deep dive into how to build an AI project because that's ultimately the next step, right? Once you figured out your business process or plan, how are you going to actually then develop an AI system to solve those problems? And so I talked through problem identification, I talked through model selection and evaluation, all of this in an hour. So I did warn those nice people and I did say, hey, your brain might hurt a little bit when we're done, but it'll be good. I did record it. So if you're a member of the AI Leadership Institute, that recording will be available. It was probably one of my favorite sessions I've ever done. It was very high velocity, but just very dense, a very, what do they call it? Like rich and decadent, like, ganache chocolate souffle. Like it's very rich, but really, really worthwhile. And very excited for it. So let's see. Oh, good. Oh, hi, Amber. What? Thank you so much. InfoComm was amazing. I'm so glad. Thank you, Amber. Amber's here. So that's really cool. Um, all right. And so, where am I this week? This week, I'm in Chicago, about to do the same thing tomorrow. And then I'm in Vancouver, doing the same thing in Vancouver. So, if you want to get firsthand access to this in person workshop that'll help you identify an idea, create a business model that then can be supported by an AI implementation plan, the only place to get it is right here, live. So, hopefully, you'll join us in one of these sessions. And then next week, I'm right back here in Chicago. So if you happen to be in Chicago and you don't catch me today, I will be back next week. I will be doing DSG, which is the basically distribution network, right? So they handle all of the distribution, supply chain, manufacturing. So I'll be talking to that group. Applied distribution is what it's called. So super excited for that. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. Good to see you all. I wasn't sure, Sky, you were going to make it. So I'm so glad to see you. Hi, Yvonne. Hello. Yara. Tara's here. What's up, Tara? Good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen some of you in a while because my last two, oh, I guess I should tell you, for those of you who don't remember, 2 weeks ago, or I guess a Friday, a week and a day ago, Friday before last, I was in Toronto. Where I was given a Trailblazer Award, which was amazing and fantastic, and so grateful for it. So I flew all the way out to Toronto to receive that award and support all the other amazing women who were given awards that night. It was through an organization called Women in AI, specifically in North America, which included Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And it was a beautiful, beautiful event. So if you are a woman in AI, if you want to be part of this type of community, I encourage you to join them. So many amazing women doing so many amazing things over there. So that's me. Where in the world is Noelle? Some of the new tech I am working with. I'm going to do a tech review real quick, and then I'm going to give you a book recommendation and tell you why I love it. But the tech, it's not new. I guess it's like a week, maybe 2 weeks old, maybe a month old. But during the same week that at the end of May, um, I was at Microsoft Build. Many of you know, I was at Microsoft Build, but the exact same day I was at Microsoft Build, a project that I had been the beta tester on for quite some time launched as well, but it was at Google. And so I wasn't allowed to actually, I'm at Build. It's kind of like going into McDonald's and asking for a Whopper, right? Like you don't want to do that. So I didn't want to like yell out someone else's product while I'm at anyway. So I tried to be, cognizant of these things. But now I could scream it from the rooftop. So this beta project I was on was AI mode on Google. I don't know how many of you have tried it yet, but it's worthwhile. I think it's a good indication of the direction and the directional shift that Google is making in their semantic search integration and hybrid search capabilities. I'm a big believer in it. So go try it out. It's actually on the mobile app. It's also in the labs capability. But AI mode allows you to operate your search in AI mode, which I've been using Perplexity. Lots of people were trying to encourage me to use Perplexity. It didn't work out that well for me. I didn't really, I don't know. I don't know. But maybe one of the reasons why is because every question I asked, it explained it to me, and I didn't really need the explanation. I just wanted the answer. And you know, good or bad. And so AI mode gave me a little bit better answers and the ability to ask questions of those answers. And I like that idea, like that it's more conversational. Granted, I grew up at Amazon Alexa, right? So I'm more, I'm kind of built that way. When I talk to my tech, I don't want it to just spit out a bunch of stuff at me. I want to give it, I want a little bit, and then I want to ask questions about it, and then I get more, and I want to be able to tune it. And so maybe I just have higher standards for that level of indexing and searching and communicative responses. But definitely something to try out. It released a few weeks ago, but I wanted to make sure you all knew, and I got to test it early, so I always like to share the success with the team. They're still working on it. I'll always encourage you when you use these new models. I mean, even since then, I think Claude also released a new model. They now have this coding platform or coding service that they've delivered. So that's pretty cool. What did I just see? Oh, I was just watching, I can't, Vive Tech, maybe the conference. I don't know how many of you saw it, but I was just looking at Jensen Wang's keynote where he was talking about the future of AI and how close quantum
It froze on my end. No, I don't know if it's just me.
has always been right around the corner for like a decade, been made now in really correlated to artificial intelligence is that
Well, you
we
might
do
have to
need to start
back
seeing
up. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but you froze when you were talking about Jensen Wang.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
stuck.
sorry.
And now you froze
Uh-oh.
again.
Shoot.
Oh, I did get stuck. I see. It's just now catching up. Oh no. Anyway, are we good? Can you hear me?
Solid.
All right, awesome. Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, so Jensen Wang did this keynote over at, and I'm on hotel, Wi-Fi, so it is what it is. We'll do our best. Um, But one of the things that he talked about was these accelerators that came in the form of these software packages, and that many of these packages will accelerate the hardware that you are using, but more importantly, allow you to take advantage of like some of these algorithms. And what I liked about them is that these packages could be infused in a agentic workflow, meaning that you would be to give a little bit of a shout out to our Agentic AI for Beginners course on Maven. We are graduating this Saturday, by the way. We have over 150 people who are graduating this Saturday from that course, which is pretty exciting. But in the concept of agentic workflows, right? When you build an agentic workflow, you're basically connecting a bunch of systems together. And we talked about, actually, myself and Yuvika did a session on agentic RAG, which meant that retrieval augmented generation is necessary for each individual model that you build. But it also requires kind of a level of meta understanding of how does that data source change when you need all of these agents to kind of access to some of the same information, not all the same information, but certainly some of the same information. How do you build retrieval augmented generation into an architecture that's using lots and lots of agents? And then on top of that, how do you use, like, let's say we now have agents, each little agent is doing its own thing in a workflow or in a business process. How do I help an agent when it doesn't know what to do? How do I give it a set of data sources that it can use to investigate and answer on its own? And that is the concept of corrective RAG, or corrective retrieval augmented generation, meaning I'm going to give you a bunch of resources to help you find an answer yourself as an agent. And so all of these things require lots and lots of tokens, right? So we're talking about, it's almost to the point of reasoning. RAG isn't, but it is almost to the point of reasoning where you're consuming more tokens because you're asking qualifying questions. And that's our responsibility, right? This week in the agentic class, we talked about the concept of metacognition and how important it was as a human to practice metacognition, right? How do you How do you analyze the way you think about something? Brain teasers are a good way of kind of doing this. That's what I had us do in class. But metacognition in an agent means that I, as the agentic developer, need to programmatically define inside an agent. I need to create ways that it can examine its own thinking process, which means I need to ask, I need to put in, like, hey, by the way, what would you, how would you do this differently? Or how would you improve what you're doing? Right? Before it ends up rendering an answer to the system or process that invoked it, it needs to do some level of investigative reporting on, did I get the right answer from the right source at the right time with the right context? And it doesn't do that automatically. You're going to have to do that work for it. You're going to have to choreograph that into the system. Um, okay, so that being said, that I think that whole concept really does foreshadow something that happened earlier today. A CEO of, I won't name him, but a CEO of a major company. Can you guys still see me and hear me? Okay. Okay, because I'm nice and dark on LinkedIn Live. So I don't know if it's doing its thing.
You're
Live broadcasting might not have been a great idea on hotel Wi-Fi. But that's okay. But a CEO recently mentioned, based on the number of implementations that his company has done in AI, that people are only now uncovering how very complicated it is to create autonomous behavior. Like, because when you create autonomous behavior, that means that no human is going to go in and tell the machine what to do. That means that this agentic, the workshop that we just did, all of the lessons that we've taught from agentic RAG, trustworthy development, corrective RAG, the ability to use metacognition to inquire about its own decision making process. Like, all those things are like, we as humans need to tell an agent to do that. We need to tell an agent, by the way, I want you to investigate your own decision process. If you don't, it won't, and it will fail in an autonomous process because it's going to get an answer that's incorrect, or it'll generate data that's in an improper state or in an improper data type. And so it's really important to kind of think about what that looks like and how you use it. So that being said, I just want to celebrate all of pre-celebrate all of our agentic AI for beginners students as we go into the weekend. Um, I am excited about this week in Vancouver, and I also am excited, of course, to be here in Chicago and talking about, giving my 2 cents on what it means to build responsibly, safely, and profitably. But all over the place. Like, I got a lot going on. I know it can be rough keeping up, but that's what my hope is, that you realize, if I'm doing this, like, there's plenty of room for whatever you want to do. Like, I literally follow my passion, follow my heart, figure out where I want to use my skills to do the best work. And there is a space for that. So I encourage you to be aware and open to the idea of how to leverage your skills, your lived experience, in coordination and combination with artificial intelligence. So now it's about that time where I always like to, like, give you a chance to ask some questions. Um, and yeah, it was if you have questions about anything that we've talked about, or if you have an experience that you want to share working with either Google and AI mode or any new tools that are happening this week, or if you're launching a new service or capability, hey, Don, what's up? Talk to
Hey,
us.
I just was going to ask if you could just, I missed that. You were saying there was a browser being launched that had like an
Yes.
AI.
Yeah, well, it's not a browser. It's actually Google launched AI mode as part of its search capability. So if you're in the Google app on your phone, you can now search in AI mode, and that will give you a semantic, it's a hybrid search solution, but it'll give you semantic plus LLM based search, which in my mind is pretty phenomenal.
Hmm.
I think those people that are using Perplexity, which I was one of them, would find it very complimentary. Uh, like, it's very consistent with the behavior of Perplexity. So I think it's worth trying. Worth trying out. Cool, great question. Anyone else? Questions, comments, exciting things you're working on? Anything you want to share to the world? How's it going? Some of you are in. Yeah, what's up, Sky? Good to see you. It's summertime, so welcome to summer, everyone. Oh, all right. Well, in the few minutes that I have before we break out into groups, one of the things that's exciting is the week of July 1st, we are going to be holding an AI Freedom Fest or AI Freedom Week. And what that means is every day for 5 days, we're going to be talking about how to use this technology to better improve different aspects of your life, career, personal, professional, even as an entrepreneur. Something for everyone. And for those of you who are in the AI Leadership Institute, you'll get access to live learning labs where you get to actually put your fingers on a keyboard and build stuff. We'll be delivering our AI Bot Builder workshop. So for those of you who've never taken that, you'll have a chance to take it. If you're in the Leadership Institute, you automatically get to take it for free as part of your membership. But if you're not, it's a great chance for you to have an opportunity to take part of what we do in our leadership at a fraction of the cost. So I'm really excited for it because it's 4th of July. I'm a big 4th of July person. So tying freedom and accessibility of technology all together in the same week, I'm really excited about it. So that will happen at the beginning of July, right? And it'll run right through July 4th. We will be meeting on July 4th. So for those of you taking time off and enjoying, grilling out, that's okay. But I will be there. And I tend to do this every holiday week. I'm always doing some piece of content on the holiday because I'm like not on the road, right? So I get a chance to actually share what I'm learning with you all. Awesome. Let's see here. Going through. Perfect. New features inside Zoom. I mentioned this on the last call as well. When you're in Zoom, sometimes we ask you all to connect with each other. I think many of you probably know each other. I'm gonna go through and oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh yeah. Um, oh my goodness, Joe, I'm so glad you said that. So Joe was talking about um creating MCP ready agents. So this is a really good topic, actually. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit in our breakouts, but really great topic is around MCP specifically. So I'm going to be teaching an MCP for beginners course because I am noticing a lot of people I mean, MCP is equivalent to like, it's a protocol, right? The term protocol indicates that it's a communication layer, right? It's a way that agents will talk to each other. Inherently, it doesn't really do anything for you, like other than it's like TCP/IP, if some of you remember what that, it's the piping that holds the internet together. The amount of us that need to understand the piping that holds the internet together, well, it used to be more, it's less now. And I think the same thing is going to happen with MCP, right? Is that this model context protocol creates a mechanism for agents to talk to each other, but it's not the most important thing, right? You need to know. Like the most important thing is when these agents do decide to use that protocol, what are they going to say? How are they going to communicate? Will they do that safely, responsibly? Will they encrypt in flight? Will they encrypt their data at rest? Will they encrypt the data in transit? Like there's so many questions that go around architecting a solution that is agentic. MCP will certainly be part of it. And I'm going to encourage, of course, I'm going to do an MCP for beginners to educate at least my community on what it is. I'm going to run it through Maven. And it's actually a bonus section of our Agentic AI for Beginners course. So there's a new bonus section at the end of the Agentic AI for Beginners course that is the intro to MCP. Because we're talking about, I mean, we're moving so fast. We're creating these protocols to accelerate communication, but I'm going to encourage you to like slow down and make sure your individual AI systems work well, that they have metrics for success, that you are monitoring their performance, that you're creating opportunities for them to solve their own problems long before you start stringing them all together. Because I think accelerating, I'm actually watching a movie right now. How many of you remember the movie War Games? You remember that with Matthew Broderick? Do you remember that movie? I don't know. You might. It was it's
I
so
do.
I almost went on and like I was gonna say videotaped because it put me in that mindset. I almost went on with my camera and like recorded the screen when it was going through. Like it was so interesting because Matthew Broderick was like doing this whole LLM thing with a login screen, and he's like, if you ask systems for help, especially if they're complex, they'll give you help. It was so cool. I was like, what? And this is like not new. So war games. Yeah, yes. Do you want to play a game? Yeah. And that was like in this little, and okay, well, you can't tell me what games you can play. And it's like literally red hat, like hacking. And then he talks, it then tells, Matthew Broderick is like, tell me what games you can play. And one of the games was like global thermal nuclear war. And that's the premise of the whole movie. I won't spoil it for any of you who want to go watch a 1980s movie, but really, really good. But it's really good to go back if you're a practitioner now to go and look at it because there's so many just neat little nuggets for those of us who build these types of systems today. Well, awesome, Tara. Yes, one of your faves. That's so cool. Um, Amazing. Let's see. I'm just going. Oh, yay. Thank you, Sky. Um, Yes, yes, exactly. Joe is a unicorn builder right now. Oh my gosh, Eve, I don't know if you saw my social. I'm just going back up through the comments. I don't know if you saw my social, but I was on a plane with my husband and we watched the Tony Awards performance. And of course, like right when it began, like the announcements came on and and we were like losing our mind, but it was so good. It was so good to see the original cast. You also asked about the TED Talk release. It's in editing right now, so it'll be out soon. I do have photos, but I'm gonna wait to share the photos until I have because it's a little like, here's my photo of me doing a TED Talk, and everyone's gonna immediately be like, can I hear the TED Talk? And so I'm gonna wait until it comes out. But yeah, hopefully within the week. They are editing it. There were 7 other talks that day. So when they're done editing it, they will give it to me and I will share it with you all. You all will be first to see it in the AI Leadership Institute. So that'll be awesome. Let's see. Oh, shameless plug. I'm offering a free webinar. What? Tell me more. Put it on the calendar. Um, I wonder if you can put it on anything. Can you put stuff on the calendar? You know what?
I
I think
didn't,
you,
I didn't, but I put it, but I think it is on the calendar.
oh, good. Okay, good.
Thanks to a lot of help from your helpers.
Yay. Good, good, good. I'm glad it worked out. Okay, awesome.
So I'm just walking through Joplin and working with LLMs. So I'm actually using OpenAI and ChatGPT Plus, and I'm copying and pasting it and setting it up. So it's just more of a workflow demo,
Yeah,
but I think
cool.
it'll really help people.
Awesome. I love it. And you know how it is. It's so much more fun, number one, to do it live for you, but it's also really fun to watch, like actually see it happen, like actually watch it be done as opposed to reading it in a lab guide or reading it in
Exactly.
a documentation. So that's awesome. Thanks for doing that. I will definitely promote it. I'll pin, did you do a post on it in the community?
I did.
Okay, I'll pin the post so people can see it.
Awesome. Thank
It's
you.
coming up soon, but I will do that. Yes, of course. Very cool. That's awesome. I can't wait. I think Wednesday I can do it too because I'm teaching tomorrow, but not and Thursday, but I'm open on Wednesday unless I'm on a plane. And then even then, I think I can make it. Is it a Zoom?
It's a Teams call.
Teams. Awesome. Okay, great.
Thanks.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I encourage you all, if you have something cool to teach or share, like it would be amazing. My dream of the future is that we have, every day someone's doing something in the I Love AI community, just demonstrating what they're working on. Doesn't have to be official, doesn't have to be like just super cash. Get out there and share what you learn. I do think a critical skill moving forward for all AI leaders is being able to explain what you know. So the more we can do that together, the better. So really awesome. That is so cool. Thanks, Joe, for doing that and being an example. And I would love for us all to join and not only support, but actually learn something. I don't think I've ever used Joplin. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I think I bought a book on it, honestly. This is me at Barnes and Noble. I have time to learn that. Learn that. I mean, yeah,
It's
go
so
ahead.
it's actually so easy. It's like like it's an open source note taker essentially.
Yes.
So you probably used Notebook LM like with
Yeah, for sure.
Google. That's like way beyond what Joplin is. Joplin is just a real convenient place to organize your notes along the way, and
Awesome.
it works in Markdown, so you can just basically copy whatever comes out of your LM
Yeah.
and paste it right into Joplin in an organized note. Then you can go back and say, I remember that chat that I was having, and
Yes.
I wish I could find that again. And you got like 10 billion chats that you got to find.
Oh my gosh, awesome. So like prompt like management.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. I can't wait. All right. Well, that reminded me, as a segue, of a book that I recently uncovered at the airport. It's from Colin Campbell. I don't know if you all know this book or have seen it. I just kept seeing it over and over again in the airport. And I was like, what is happening? Uh, let's see. Hold on. I'm sorry. I clicked on a button by accident. So I was like, what's going on with this book? It's very cool. I like it. So start, scale, exit, repeat. I'm enjoying it. Number one, because it's colorful. You can kind of see a glimpse of colors. Colorful. It's got lots of pictures, not like explanation type pictures, just like graphics to keep me entertained. Um, but it's very much like in alignment with the things I say all the time, like, the challenges with venture capital, the importance of getting attention for your idea before you build it, the importance of, um, funding your company with customers and not VC, and like all of these types of things. It's really good so far. But what I like about it is that, of course, it has nothing to do with AI. But it has nothing to do with AI, but the all the work that I do in AI really has, like, I use AI to do a lot of things that are in this book, and so it was really good to see it identified. But it is a serial entrepreneur's like guidebook. If you are an entrepreneur, you might find a lot of value in it. I really like it mostly because it shows lots of examples of businesses that have scaled from 0 to 1 million, 0 to 10 million, 0 to 100 million, 0 to 1 billion, and I'm all over that. I love it. I love immersing myself in success stories as well as the failures that they experience along the way. Because, that's the best, what do they call, like, cheat code for success is to look at the failures of others that are certainly willing to share it and, not make those mistakes, make my own new mistakes at an evolved level. So in the last few minutes here, we have about 15 minutes left of our call. I would like to ensure that we have a chance to connect with each other and get to know each other a little bit. And if you meet with the same person, that's okay. I do have a topic that I want us to consider today. And maybe it'll allow us, similar to what Joe had mentioned, like today, I would love for you to think about how you're currently managing prompts. Like, what do you do? Like right now, I heavily rely on a platform to, like, my management. I don't have a management process. Like sometimes I copy and paste certain prompts into Evernote, but I also use notes on my iOS. um anyway, so it's kind of all over the place. So I'm very interested in this workshop that Joe's going to do on bringing method to the madness, but just share some of the tips, tricks, techniques, practices, or even just share that you're not doing anything in that way while you introduce yourself. So the first step, we're going to spend a few minutes. First thing is just use your, I don't know if you have one, but if you have an I help statement because you're running a business or because you work in a company, what do you do? I help so and so do get this outcome with this special thing that I sell or that I deliver. If you have a I help statement, great chance to practice it. If you don't, just spend less than a minute kind of saying who you are, what you do, what your current role is, or what you're working on, and then go in and share your experience managing prompts that come out of ChatGPT. Like, what do you do with the good ones? Because there's probably good and bad all intermixed together. So, how are you managing your prompts today? I will go ahead and open up the. I'm going to open up the break rooms really quick and assign it. If you end up being assigned, there we go. Oh gosh. Okay, let's go there. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna do 10. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be working. There we go. Okay, it's working now. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's working. All right. So the person with what did I do last time? The person with the shortest hair gets to go first. That might be you, Sherry. It might be you. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna create the breakout rooms now. Oh yes, Afwa, it happened already though. Did you know that? You just want the link to the the upload, the YouTube
I
video?
missed it. I missed
Oh
it
yeah, no
so
problem.
bad.
Yeah,
I
I'm in Chicago, so I almost missed it myself.
Oh
Thank
my
goodness I'm on
goodness.
the other. I almost missed it myself. Okay, so I have you two. I'm gonna put about three of you in each room. Move to room two, and I'm making sure there's no note takers in the room. There we go. Room two. Oopsie. Oh gosh. Let me move you to room three. All right, there we go. Diana, you're next. I haven't hit go yet. I'm just trying to make sure everyone's got a place, and I'm trying to move the AI bots around. Move to, let's see, where is the bots? I'm gonna move it to room five. If
The
you're in
right
room
place.
five, you're in with the bot. Oh my gosh, it's too funny. Okay, room five. Oh, oh dear. Okay, there we go. Almost there. All right. Well, room one, room two, room three, and then Yara's here. So I'm gonna make sure you are here. There we go. I'm opening the rooms. Have fun. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Cool. Let's see. Don, you're in room three, should you choose to accept it.
Okay. All right. I'm ready to go. But I want to
It's
catch
up
up
to you.
some.
Oh, oh yeah, sure, for sure. No problem. Of course. Let me go here. I'm gonna move Yara to room three. Oopsie. Oh, okay. There we go. To room three. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Move to room two. Mm. He All right, everyone. If you are live with us on LinkedIn. I'm going to shut it down because we're going to spend 10 minutes silent in breakout rooms. But thanks for joining us today. And I'm sorry if some of you didn't get the live streaming service, I'm sure is a function of my Wi-Fi in my hotel. So if it broke up, apologies. But we do this call on Zoom. We get to know each other. We demo real products. We share a bunch of really cool things about our experiences. If you're looking for a community to hang out with, it's completely free. You can go to Noelle.ai, my first name.ai. That's the website. You'll see what we're doing in our free community. We also have a premium paid community for doing labs and getting certification. When you us to come in and do a workshop, we are always ready and willing to help you with that. So don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And we will be live again on Friday, unless I'm teaching somewhere. But today, I'm telling you right now, Friday looks clear. So Friday, 4 o'clock, I'll see y'all then. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Bye.